Money comes from hard work. Most people are taught one simple rule: work hard and money will come. Rich people learn that this rule is incomplete. Then they unlearn it entirely. Hard work does matter, but it is not the source of real wealth. Hard work creates income. Ownership creates wealth. Rich people stop trading time for money as their main strategy. They stop asking how many hours they can work. They start asking what can work without them. They focus on leverage, systems, assets, teams, capital. They understand something early. Effort has a limit. Time is finite. Energy runs out. So they unlearn the idea that exhaustion equals progress. They replace it with strategy and positioning. Desire for job security. A 9-to-5 job feels comforting, a steady paycheck. Clear expectations, predictable routines. Rich people learn to let go of this attachment. They realize job security is often an illusion. They stop trusting systems to protect them. They trust adaptability instead. Uncertainty becomes familiar. Risk becomes manageable. Instead of avoiding risk, they break it down. They take small risks, calculated risks, asymmetrical risks. They understand something most people miss. Comfort slows growth, and safety can hide long-term danger. So they unlearn the need to feel secure and build resilience instead. Saving before investing. Most people are taught to save first, put money aside. Spend what remains. Rich people rethink this order. They still value saving, but they do not worship it. They understand that idle cash loses value. Inflation works quietly. Every year, savings shrink in real terms. So they prioritize investing earlier. They move money into assets, businesses, equity, cash flow systems. They see money as energy. If it does not move, it does not grow. Saving protects. Investing multiplies. Rich people unlearn the belief that hoarding cash is smart. They learn that money must be deployed to matter. Linear thinking. Most people think in straight lines. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Rich people stop thinking this way. They think in leverage and compounding. Small advantages that stack. Systems that scale. They understand results are uneven. One decision can outweigh hundreds of actions. So they stop over-optimizing small details too early. They search for leverage points instead. They ask different questions. What creates the biggest impact? What scales without effort increasing? They unlearn step-by-step thinking and adopt outcome-first thinking. Need to do everything themselves. Doing everything yourself feels responsible. It feels safe. It feels in control. Rich people let this go. They delegate early. They outsource aggressively. They build teams around strengths. They understand opportunity cost. Time spent on low-value tasks is gone forever. They focus on what only they can do. Vision, decisions, direction. Everything else can be replaced. This shift is uncomfortable because control feels secure, but growth requires release. Rich people unlearn self-reliance as a badge of honor and replace it with leverage. Obsession with price. Most people focus on price, how cheap something is, how much they can save. Rich people focus on value and long-term cost. They ask better questions. What does this return? What does this save me over time? What does this unlock? They are willing to pay more for speed, for quality, for access. They understand cheap decisions often become expensive later. So they unlearn bargain thinking and adopt value thinking. This changes how they invest, how they hire, and how they spend. Need for immediate gratification. Immediate rewards feel good. Spending now, enjoying now. Rich people practice delay on purpose. Not forever, but strategically. They trade early comfort for long-term freedom. They invest before they consume. They build before they display. They understand discipline compounds, just like capital. So they unlearn impulse-driven choices and replace them with intentional patience. This habit quietly separates outcomes over time. Failure is a signal to stop. Failure scares most people. It feels personal. It feels final. Rich people redefine it. Failure becomes feedback, data, tuition. They expect it, plan for it, recover quickly. They do not attach identity to results. They separate who they are from what happened. This emotional distance allows repetition, and repetition builds mastery. They unlearn fear of failure and replace it with respect for learning. Higher income solves everything. More income sounds like the solution. Earn more. Fix problems. Rich people learn this is incomplete. Expenses rise. Taxes increase. Lifestyle expands. They focus on structure instead. Cash flow. So they unlearn income obsession and think in terms of durability. Wealth lasts when systems hold. Following the crowd, most people look for validation. They follow trends. They copy behavior. Rich people step away from this instinct. They question consensus. They study cycles. They act before certainty exists. They understand crowded paths rarely lead to outsized results. Opportunity lives where discomfort exists, so they unlearn conformity and build independent thinking. This path is quieter, often lonelier, but far more powerful. Wealth is not only about learning new skills. It is about removing old beliefs about work, about risk, about money, about failure. Progress accelerates when friction disappears. And friction often lives in the mind. If this video shifted your thinking, like it to support the channel. And comment what other ideas or mindsets you want to see next.